Okay, and the last property is the only one that's going to be one that we have left that's new. The very last one on your paper you've already done. Okay, the next one is when you have a secant. Remember, a secant goes through the circle, and you have a tangent, just touches the circle at one point. It's called the point of tangency. The formula for this is you're going to take the outside segment times itself. So I say outside times outside. And that's going to equal, just like the last problem, outside times the whole length of segment ED. Okay, so to put it in letters as it applies to this picture here, EA is outside times outside, which is a EA, and that's going to equal outside EC times the whole length of the segment, which is EC plus CD. And then also you can clean this up here because anything times itself is itself squared. So EA times EA is EA squared, which equals EC times EC plus CD. Okay, so let's look at this first example. The formula is we take the outside times the outside, and it equals outside times the whole. So the outside here is x times the outside again, which is x, and that equals the outside of the other segment, 5, times the whole length of this segment, which is 5 plus 6. Okay, I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. I have x times x, which is x squared, and then 5 times 5 plus 6, and 5 plus 6 is 11. So I have x squared equals 5 times 11, which is 55, and in order to find what x is, I would take the square root of both sides. You are going to get a decimal with this. I'm going to take 55 and square root it, so I get 7.4. So x is 7.4. Okay, following with the next example, I'm just going to give you one hint. When you do 2x times 2x, it's going to end up being 4x squared. Alright, so I'd like you to pause the video and finish up this example. See if you get what I get. Alright, and you should get that x is 5.4. If you didn't, raise your hand or ask a neighbor. Okay, and the last example as it pertains to segments is when you have two tangents that touch at the same endpoint outside of a circle. And we did this last class, but just to refresh your memory, the two tangent segments are congruent. So they're going to be equal to each other. So the formula is that you take the outside segment and you just set it equal to the outside segment. So then as it pertains to this picture, that would just be segment AB, set it equal to segment BC. So let's take a look at the first example. We have AB, the outside, equals the outside. So x plus 15 equals 2x minus 5. Let's start with subtracting x from both sides. So I'm going to get 15 equals 2x minus x, which is x, minus 5. And I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I get 20 equals x. Alright, the next example, it looks complicated. It really does, but I promise you it's not. I'd like for you to pause the video, think about what this problem has to do with this example, and see if you can figure it out. Pause the video and see if you get what I get. Alright, and you should have gotten that x is 5. If you didn't and you don't understand why, please raise your hand or ask a friend.